Thanks to the support as a channel member, Felix Bjorkman. No, I don't really know how we've gone from being rubbish to an unbeaten start to the championship season without signing any players. I guess having faith in youth for as long as we've had. Maybe it's paid off. They've been drug tested. I don't really know what else to suggest. Hello and welcome to part 77 of Homegrown. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have two games for you in the Championship. We're at home against both QPR and Bristol City. Since you were last with me, we've had a lovely old start to the league season. Lots of consecutive wins. We did drop a little away draw in there at Stoke, but backed it up with a 3-1 win, away against Portsmouth. A Euron Hughes hat-trick. This is what I mean about players stepping up this season. He's only 21 years old still. But he's the perfect example of what so many of our players have done this year. He's already got as many goals as he got last year. He's playing absolutely out of his skin. We're showing a little bit of faith in these players and they're repaying it. Should have done this years ago. So this is what the league table looks like. 8 games in. We are joint top of the league with West Ham, the only undefeated team left in the Championship at this stage. We've got a game in hand over West Ham as well. So if we win this game today... actually, West Ham are playing, so I think it's the next one. Yeah, it's the Bristol City game where we play our game in hand, but we could find ourselves top of the league in our own right, which would be lovely. The only other thing that happened since the last episode is the transfer window closed. There were a couple of players who came in. Enis Alibasic, I think is what we're going to call him, is our new record signing. He cost us £500,000. He's an 18-year-old Icelandic striker, midfielder, winger, 2.5-star current ability, 5-star potential. We've signed him really to play in central midfield, but he's not finished training there yet. So at the moment, he still shows up as a striker. But I've largely been playing him in midfield. He's not been spectacular yet, but he'll be spectacular, I promise. And we also signed George Francis, who was already arranged to come in. He was one of those we were waiting for his 18th birthday to come through. He's an 18-year-old Liberian international left back, 3-star current ability, 5-star potential. Another one of the future Premier League brigade. We have a whole squad now, really, of players with Premier League potential, which means sooner or later we should probably take that step up and let them start fulfilling their Premier League potential. No one else left apart from a few loans heading out of the club. So I actually think we've put together a decent squad in the end there. Francis in particular, I think is going to be a key player for us this year. So this is the team for the game against QPR. Alex Williams is now back in the side. Stephen Reid played the first 4 games of the season, did not look out of place at all in this side. 4 goals conceded from 4 appearances, a 7.03. I think we've got a very good goalkeeper for the future there. If we do end up losing Williams, if we don't go up this year, I won't have any doubts at all about moving Stephen Reid up to being our regular starter from next year. If he has to be, he didn't let us down at all. So Alex Williams leaving is no longer Armageddon when it comes to this squad, which just being able to say that is a huge plus for this football club, I think. And we have picked up injuries to Curry and Renan, though, so they're not involved today. So the team is Williams in goal, a back four of Francis, Davies, Barr and Brewerton, Lay and Hodgkinson in midfield, Hamilton, Roberts and Hughes supporting Alibasic up front. I know I said I'd been playing him as a midfielder, but the game's telling me he's a striker. So should we have a look at him as a striker? Yeah, we'll have a look at him as a striker because Fulton's injured, Renan's injured. We could easily swap them over, play Hodgkinson up top and Alibasic in midfield, but we'll do it this way around for now. Connor Roberts, though, is another one of those I was talking about before. It's the same way as Euron Hughes. Connor Roberts just looks excellent this year. His average rating doesn't necessarily suggest that yet, but he started every game, seems to be involved in every attack. Connor Roberts is a player I am very much enjoying. And even Micah Hamilton is back playing well again, which he hadn't done for a little while. We've got belief back in this group of players again, which we didn't have for large parts of last season. And fingers crossed, we can carry on our excellent start to the season and pick up another couple of wins today, because last season was hopefully just a disappointing anomaly, and we'll end up charging up to the Premier League and giving these players with their Premier League potential the opportunity to finally show me that they actually do have the Premier League potential. Williams then plays it to Davies. Davies has been excellent this year, by the way. Any doubts we had this time last year when he had a few injury problems, was struggling a bit for form, forget all that. Harrison Davies is back and he's excellent. And here's Francis on the left-hand side. Your first chance to have a look at him. Cross comes over for Hughes. And Hughes' purple patch continues. It's an 8th goal of the season now for Euron Hughes, who's been the brightest point of this season so far. He's been here. This is his 4th season at the club. He's had 3 seasons of just being an average teenage squad player and has just exploded as a superstar this year. Love it when that happens. And it's 1-0 to home after 8 minutes. And that does put us, albeit probably temporarily, top of the championship. Although we haven't actually gone top of the championship. Does that mean West Ham? Oh, West Ham went ahead at exactly the same time. They're 1-0 up away against Rotherham. It's good to see Posher up there in the promotion push with us as well. It would be great if the 2 Peterborough teams could both get promoted this year. That would be perfect. I don't think Posh have hit the Premier League at all in this version of history. So to have a city that's never had a Premier League team to get 2 at the same time would be fantastic. Has that ever been done before? Let me know down in the comments section. Barr plays it forward to Hughes. Roberts now playing it across to Hodgkinson. Hodgkinson looking for Ali Bassick, who has the shot from range. Maybe he's a striker after all. What do I know? It's his first time starting a game as a striker and he's grabbed a goal. It's 2-0 to home. I mean, it's a very decent finish as well. Good build-up play from Roberts and Hodgkinson. Excellent ball through from Hodgkinson and a very tidy finish from the young Icelandic striker. I feel like he's one of those players, similar to Jarabek last year, that we just bring him in without really being sure what they're going to be. They can play a lot of positions. They're clearly talented. They're young. Let's give them a few years to work out what their position is. I feel like that's actually quite a realistic kind of transfer. I think a lot of players do arrive in that kind of manner. I always remember years ago, Kolo Touré first arriving at Arsenal, and I don't know if it was his debut or just some random game that my dad had on the telly. But I remember Kolo Touré coming on as a winger, and then the next time I saw him a year or 2 later, being absolutely flabbergasted, confused that apparently he's a centre-back now, is he? Last time I saw him, he was a winger. What's happened there? And that's the situation we've got with Ali Bassick. Maybe he'll be a goalkeeper next time you see him. Who knows? It's always a mystery and it's good fun finding out. Connor Roberts with the free kick, looking for a home shirt in the middle there. Couldn't find one. But Lay is there to just put a stop to any potential counter-attack that might have been on for QPR. And in fact, we're trying to counter the counter ourselves with a couple of minutes of added time still left in this first half. There's an opportunity for a 3rd goal here. It's Hamilton to Lay. Lay plays it into Brewerton, who's stayed very far forward, but I mean, just couldn't keep the ball in. It's Shola Shortire, Peterborough United legend, just losing the ball to Connor Roberts and then frustratingly fouling him. And Ali Bassick's in again there from the pass from, was it Hamilton or Hodgkinson? Someone started a lovely ball through for him. Wasn't able to apply the finish this time. But still, we look very good going forward. We just knock the ball around nicely. This is like how we were when we were good. We can just knock the ball around amongst our skillful little attackers, and it just feels like a Kev team again. And it's been a long time since I felt this good about this squad, which is weird when it's largely the same squad. We're experiencing so much new stuff on Homegrown because normally, I'd have sold everybody and done a massive rebuild last summer in any other save I've ever done. But we couldn't because of the nature of the save. We've had to persevere with this lot and work out how to get the best out of them. And it's taken a long time to do it, but it's finally happening. And Hughes has just got his 2nd of the game. That's his 6th goal in 3 appearances now. And he is absolutely on fire. We're 3-0 up. He's just scored his 9th goal of the season. How are West Ham getting on? Is there any chance of moving past them? And they're 2-0 up away against Rotherham. But we do have that game in hand against Bristol City, which is the next game we're going to play. So hopefully we can pick up a win there and go to the top of the league. Right, we're going to bring on Fulton, which is our normal change at this point. We're going to shuffle those lot around. Get Hodgkinson in behind Fulton. Ali Bassett can drop back to midfield. We're going to take off Lay. Jonathan Akani's going to come on. It's a rare appearance for Akani. Akani started the season injured, and I worry he might have actually missed a big opportunity by doing that. He's dropped back down to our 5th best central midfielder. This is his first appearance of the season. And like I say, I'm a little bit concerned that he's fallen down the pecking order at a time when there were opportunities for him, and having now missed those opportunities, it's going to be quite difficult for him to force his way back into the mix again. Final change, we're going to bring on McCartan for Brewerton, which I think these are probably our long-term fullback replacements. We identified it in the summer as the big positions we needed to change, and I think with Francis and McCartan, I think they are our 2 new proper fullbacks. We've got some proper wing-backs for the first time since Bachelorette Pitetta, probably. Have we ever had a proper right back? Who would have been our proper right back? Brewerton's been there for so long and he's a centre back. Cisse did it before him, didn't he? And he was a midfielder. I don't know that we've ever had a proper right back. But obviously we've had Hall, who's kind of a centre back, Bachelorette Pitetta as a left back. But these 2 are proper out and out wing backs. They're proper attacking fullbacks. And it's what we've wanted for 10 seasons, and we finally got it. And we probably need to give him a little bit more game time than we have done so far. Here's Akani, though. I don't want it to be the end for Akani. I want him to turn out good. But like I say, the injury couldn't have been more poorly timed for him, because he could have easily started this season as a starting midfield player. As it is, Alec Lay has kind of taken over that central midfield starting spot. Almost to the expense of Nathan Curry. Curry had been playing at right back quite a lot before his injury. And Akani, it's going to be a long road back to being a regular starter. He played more than 30 games for us last year. I don't expect him to play 30 games this year unless injuries force him into the team, or when he gets his opportunities, he's incredible and does a Hughes, or does a, who else has done it? Who else has had a step up? A Roberts, someone like that. He needs to have that kind of development. And that kind of aimless passing forward is not the way to secure that kind of development. Hodgkinson now in midfield doesn't get the time to take a touch because the final whistle blows. It's 3-0 to home. We've looked very, very good again. And hopefully we can carry this form on into this Bristol City game and get ourselves top of the league after 10 games, which would be as good a start of the season as we could possibly have hoped for. Right, just the one change for the Bristol City game then. Ali Bassett is now off on international duties, travelling to join up with the Iceland under-21s. He's also injured as well. So Fulton comes in to play up front in the absence of Renan. I know we've got Jessup, we've got Cannon, but as much as they've been great over the years, I'm kind of done with both of them. Apart from in absolute emergencies, I'd rather give the opportunity to Mackenzie Fulton, who did play. He's played a couple of games for us recently, coming off the bench, grabbed a couple of goals here and there as well. 2 goals from 0 starts in all competitions this season. 9 appearances off the bench is his first start, and I think it's a big day for Fulton. If he can play well today, then it might spell the end for Tommy Jessup, who I know a few people have said, why don't you sell Jessup? He's got a value of like £6 million. Oh, believe me, I have tried. No one's interested in him. His paper value might be 6 million, but I don't think anyone's dumb enough to pay £6 million for him. So Jessup is probably just going to be lurking around the place forever, along with Cannon. They'll both leave for next to nothing at some point as more and more strikers start to come through. But I'm thinking my main options for striker this season, Hodgkinson, Renan, Fulton, and I guess Ali Bassett as well. Brewerton on the right-hand side. Cross comes into Fulton, and it's disallowed. That would have been perfect. Only 3 minutes on the clock. The youngster grabbing his first goal, it's not even his first league goal. He's already scored a league. Oh, he's barely offside as well. That would have been perfect, but it was not to be. Even as things stand, because we were level on points with West Ham going into the game, we are top of the championship currently, but we'd obviously like to win this game. We want to keep our run of form going, and more than anything, I want a performance out of Mackenzie Fulton. I want to be proven right that he is the future of our front line, which is what I kind of hope that he is, because we don't really have another out-and-out striker coming through at the moment. So it kind of has to be Fulton, unless it's Renan. Renan was playing up front for 3 or 4 games in a row before he picked up his injury and was playing very well with Hamilton on the left, Hughes on the right. Renan was doing a pretty decent job up there. But I can't help but think Fulton up top with Renan out on the left is probably more likely to be an attack that we can take to the Premier League. I don't think Micah Hamilton takes the step up to the Premier League, whereas the other 4 are young enough and have enough potential to potentially be playing for us in 2 or 3 years' time as a mid-table Premier League front 4, which there's just no way Micah Hamilton's part of that. So it's similar to what the thought process is with the likes of Tommy Jessup, Troy Cannon, players who are never going to be good enough for the Premier League at this point. Unless we have to, why are we using him now? Let's use the players who are going to be in the Premier League. Hamilton's done very well there, and the ball bobbles free to Hughes. And when you're in form, things just go for you. It's a 10th goal of the season for Hughes. I don't know how much he knows about this. It's just kind of bobbling around in the area, and Hughes is there. I mean, he does go to hit it. It's not just hit him, but, well, it's an easy tap in for Euron Hughes. Put us 1-0 up. Hodgkinson is tired, so we're going to take Hodgkinson off in a second. I think we'll do that change, actually. Bring young Luke Camilleri on to play in midfield, so he can come on and play in that exact same role. There's a couple of players who are looking very tired, actually. We could probably make a few changes here. Well, it's very early, but we're going to bring on Onyango to play on the right-hand side, and then we might bring Jessup on that left wing, but I think we're going to give Hamilton another 10 minutes. I'm not as worried about protecting Hamilton because of the reasons we were talking about before, whereas Hughes and Hodgkinson are key players for us now. So let's make sure they don't pick up injuries. But if Hamilton picks up a knock here, then so be it. I'm aware that Mackenzie Fulton wasn't fully fit going into this game, so I'd rather have another 10 minutes of having the opportunity to take him off if we have to, than taking Hamilton off when we don't really need to. And Joe Barr, that's a very clumsy penalty to give away just there. The player's running away from goal. He's no threat. You can just let him run that out, or let him drill it across goal and let Williams deal with it. There's no reason to give away the penalty, and that's just, it's clumsy. It's inexperience, naivety from a player who until very recently was the most expensive player in the history of the football club. Right, we are going to bring Tommy Jessup on now on this left-hand side. Hamilton can come off. Jessup can come on and play as a winger, which he's done plenty of times before. It's a big opportunity for Tommy Jessup to force his way back into this team. He's not had any opportunity at all this season, really. He's in today because of injuries and international duty. And if everyone was available, he wouldn't even be on the bench again. So it's a little bit harsh on the man who's been our top scorer for the last 3 or 4 years. But we said we were going to shake things up and go with youth this year. So Jessup's nearly 25, I think. Maybe he's not quite that old. But still, Jessup's maxed out his potential. We've got all these players who haven't yet. Come on, we've got to find a winner here. We can't let Bristol City win. This will be hideous. We've had such a good start to the season. Let's finish this episode top of the championship, please. Jessup on the left-hand side. It ends up with Francis, back with Jessup again, and now Camilleri in midfield, playing it across to Onyango. Onyango trying to get past his man, plays it across to Francis. So many new names on this pitch today. It's beautiful. Jessup with the opportunity, but the goalkeeper forces it behind for the corner. And now it's going to be Jessup to take the corner. Harrison Davies is there, but the header goes just wide. Harrison Davies, by the way, this is his 10th season as a starter for us in this team. He's been captain pretty much all the way through that time as well. If testimonials worked properly in FM, this is his testimonial year, but unless it's changed for FM21, I've not had anyone hit a testimonial in FM21 yet, but certainly in FM20, not only did you need the 10 years, you also had to be over 30. So I don't think we're going to be getting a testimonial for Harrison Davies anytime soon, but we should, because this is his 10th year. I know he's only 25, but what a career that man has had. And hopefully next season, he'll be captaining us and starting in the Premier League, which would be still not even in his prime, still only 26. What a career. I tell you what, when that happens, he becomes the first knighthood of the series. But we have finished the episode top of the league. 8 wins, 2 draws, no defeats. We couldn't have asked for a better start to the season after the way last season's ended. We'll play through another 6, 7, 8 games before we come back for tomorrow's episode. We'll pick out an interesting game or two from in here. I'm looking for West Ham, but it doesn't. Oh, in fact, we play them really soon, so I'm not going to come back that quickly. We'll find a couple of interesting games in here to show you tomorrow. And is it tomorrow? It's not tomorrow. It's Sunday. It's not Sunday now. It's Friday now. Next time we speak, it'll be Sunday. Except you should watch Born tomorrow. So next time we speak, it'll be Born tonight, then Born tomorrow, then home on Sunday, and hopefully maybe a stream on Sunday as well. I might finally make my return to streaming, if I haven't already. I don't know. It's Wednesday as I record this, so maybe I felt better on Thursday. Who knows? If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos, and thank you very much for watching.